Naoya Mukai has recently begun dating his childhood friend, Saki Saki, who he loves very much, but another girl, Nagisa Minase, confesses her feelings of love for him. Earlier that day, Naoya would always express his love for Saki, but she would always turn him down. With her just recently accepting his feelings, with them now becoming a couple, with this being the happiness he always wanted, Saki Saki goes to the basketball club with her friend Shino Kiryuu. Since Naoya is impatient to see her, she declines his offer to have him wait for her, and instead advises him to go home, with her not knowing how late they're gonna be. She jokes promising she'll be okay, as long as he promises not to go cheat on her, jokingly. Naoya takes this to heart, hurt to think that she would think this about him. He rushes at her, promising to love her forever, so she'll never doubt his love again, causing an awkward scene in class, which doesn't make it better when Naoya gets even more serious, mentioning how he loved her for a long time and happy to finally be together. Saki tells him he wins this round and goes off to practice. On the roof, Naoya thinks about the situation. The door opens and in walks in Nagisa, nervously asking if he's Naoya Mukai. After he confirms he is, she bows, confessing that she loves him. The boy is confused, which reminds her that she hasn't made a proper introduction yet. Afterwards, she wants to know what he thinks about her, attraction-wise. Naoya bluntly says that she's cute as fuck, with her happy that all the months that she put in paid off. Nagisa set aside 4 hours of the day to exercise and do yoga, spending 3 hours on her beauty regimen, and putting in another 8 hours into cooking, with her preparing a celebratory bento. Naoya calls her methods hardcore, but finding it super cool. He's worried about her safety though, but she assures that she's fine, with her also working a part-time job, somehow. Naoya cries, knowing how much she put into this, answering her question, finding her super attractive. Nagisa asks for him to be her boyfriend, but he hesitates, making Nagisa feel like she's not good enough. He asks to decline since he already has a girlfriend. However, when she decides not to give up, with her walking away, determined to work even harder, Naoya stops her, deciding that he finds her so cute. He decides to convince Saki to accept Nagisa as her second girlfriend. Nagisa feels blue-ribboned, completely confused by this, but agrees. After practice, they go to talk to Saki, showing off Nagisa to her. Saki is so overwhelmed by Nagisa's cuteness, she insists that the two of them hang out alone together, becoming friends straight away, with Saki not mind dating Nagisa herself. Hearing this, Naoya starts to ease into the conversation, with Naoya managing to explain his desires to date both of them. Saki doesn't understand what he's saying to her, reminding him that he already has her, with Nagisa staying out of this. Saki is pissed beyond belief, punching him. The two start fighting. Nagisa is able to break it up, but Saki wants to know what her thoughts on this are. Saki is eventually convinced by Naoya, and also finding Nagisa very cute. Naoya suggests that they move in together. On the first night, Saki's impressed by Nagisa's housewife skills, as she's cooking and cleaning. Saki starts to come around to the idea, until Nagisa comes into the bath, with her being slightly jealous that the girl has a larger breast than her. Nagisa offers to let Saki sleep with Naoya first, but Saki admits that the relationship hasn't gone there yet, with the two not even kissing yet. Nagisa uncontrollably starts smiling when she hears this. This leads to an awkward conversation, where Naoya admits that he wants to have a threesome. Saki admits that she is tempted because Nagisa is so cute, and her body, but still insists that Naoya is worse for suggesting it first, so the boy delays this, with the boy setting aside some rules until they're more comfortable with each other, with surprisingly Saki being very disappointed, though she violently denies it. In the changing room, Saki is sad that Nagisa is so irresistible, not wanting to have to compete for her boyfriend. On top of everything else, Nagisa is down for whatever Naoya wants to do to her, crushing her spirits. For the first night, Naoya suggests that they all sleep in the same futon. Saki is keen on watching the two of them all night, to make sure they don't do anything dirty. The two of them start to think that Saki is asleep, and Nagisa moves in closer to Naoya's futon, with the two talking, causing Saki to think that they're playing beef injection. Saki calls her a home-wrecking slut, which doesn't help with the sound effects. As such, both girls move to Naoya's futon, get closer to him. Later that night when she's making breakfast, Nagisa decides to spy on Saki's phone to learn more about her, only to find out that it contains multiple searches about procreation, if you know what I mean. Saki almost catches her, but Naoya takes the blame and is punished. Nagisa reveals while preparing her confession, she forgot to attend school. Both of them find it obviously pretty crazy. Naoya insists that they spend all day studying, though it soon becomes clear Nagisa is struggling at math. She claims that she has to use the bathroom, but is secretly cheating so she wouldn't get the wrong answer, but she still does so anyway. At school, Saki insists that no one can know about their relationship, but when Naoya sees that Nagisa has no friends, he attempts to reveal everything about her, only for Saki to stop him. Saki reveals that she's worried that people will think that Naoya doesn't care about her anymore if they find out. However, Nagisa agrees that they should keep this relationship private. Saki is touched by the offer, and decides that they can interact in private as long as no one can see them. The three of them decide to eat lunch in the storage room, which has a padlock to ensure privacy and can only be opened by the window. Saki realizes that Nagisa and Naoya are doing the cooking and the house cleaning, with her not having to do anything as it stands. Also seeing how far Nagisa is willing to go, Saki starts to try to compete to show that she can actually be useful, but she fails. She becomes determined to do something for Naoya. Saki tries to creep into his room and have her way with him, but he turns her down. She then becomes upset, believing that he prefers Nagisa's larger breast, and returns back to her parents' house, which is next door. Nagisa feels guilty about the situation, Naoya tries various ways to apologize and he exhausts himself for 3 days, but Saki rejects him every time. Still feeling guilty about the situation, Nagisa decides to help and trick Naoya into sampling her melon collection. With Saki able to see this, she jumps off the balcony in a rage of jealousy, where Nagisa insists she talk to Naoya. Saki admits that she's been feeling inferior to Nagisa, and it annoys her that Naoya does everything around the house, but not receiving anything in return. Saki wants to be able to do something for him, but she doesn't know what to do. Surprisingly, Nagisa agrees that Naoya is doing too much for them. Naoya realizes, by taking all the responsibility, he was actually being selfish. With Saki back home, Naoya passes out from his 3 days of accumulated exhaustion. Saki now sees Nagisa as her rival, but ultimately wants to be her friend. They realize that both of them like gaming, with Nagisa having spent 1,000 hours in a particular video game, but still she's very terrible at the video game. So Saki feels better knowing that she has something over the girl. Nagisa decides to watch a gameplay video on YouTube to get better at it, watching another player called Malika, with her streaming her game online. Saki finds her to be one of the bad opie streamers, but still is able to appreciate the melons. Naoya sees a school uniform in the background for her thumbnail, realizing that she goes to their school. The next day during lunch, Saki forgets to lock the window and another girl appears, being Rika Hashizaki, with her climbing in. Rika thinks that it's strange how 2 girls and 1 boy are in a locked storage room together, assuming that they're doing something nasty here. Naoya panics and accidentally admits everything about what they're doing, with this amusing Rika, who teases them about the situation and having to reveal their secret, but they're willing to reveal their secret. Naoya tries to bribe her with money, being his rich kid instincts, but Rika says that she makes that much money in a month, so she doesn't care for it. Nagisa realizes that she's Malika, causing Rika to also panic. As everyone has a secret that they don't want to be revealed, they all agree to keep quiet. Rika finds them to be actually decent people, despite their unusual relationship, deciding that she wants to join in and be his third girlfriend. This is where we're going to leave off in today's video. If you like this video, here's another one just like it, so go check it out. I will be breaking down this anime into multiple parts. Now if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. And hey, why not subscribe to the channel? I'll be uploading daily videos just like this one, so I'll see you next time.